So, I meet the girl on a Friday, and this is 2 weeks ago from 2 days ago, and we talked briefly. Not, I mean, it was like a setting where there was like a couple people there, and we were just all talking. So, I, um, all right, hold on. Let me see if everybody here.
Hey, what's up?
I'm gonna tell this story to like everybody on here. Hold on. You guys want to hear this story? You guys want to hear about my date last night and how terrible it went?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good, because I'm telling it on my stream. I'm socially eating right now, which means I'm eating a beef jerky stick while dudes watch me put it down my throat.
Yeah, dude. I don't like the sound of that.
Come on in. There's room for two, or three, beef sticks. That is. So I'm gonna start over from the beginning because I kind of started and I was like, oh shit, these guys are in Discord. Maybe they'd want to hear and maybe feel bad for me. So a couple months ago, my buddy was like, hey man, you should meet my wife's cousin. This guy's name is Fatty. His wife's name is Jody. Just to get that out there right now. So Fatty says to Nate, hey man, you should meet Jody's cousin. I said, okay, set it up. She is hot. Like shows me a picture. I was like, all right, dude, I'll meet her for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I ever told you about the crazy chick that I went on a couple dates with, and like she secretly watched my stream while I was talking about going on a date with this other girl, and then flipped out on me. Yeah, I could tell that afterwards. But so I meet this girl on like a Friday, and we don't get to talk that much because it was like Fatty, Jody, me, this girl, and she brought her kid. Which, just to clarify, her kid is an adopted kid. She adopted from her like druggy sister and her dead brother. She adopted 2 kids. So I was like, that's not too bad. She's got 2 kids, but you know, she was kind of doing like the right thing. You know, it's family.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't like a sneezy thing. It was like, yeah.
that beef stick in my mouth. So we talked briefly, and I was like, all right, well, let me see if this chick wants to go on a date. So I messaged her on Facebook, you know, being all suave. I was like, you want to go on a date? Actually, I said something, and she brought up her computer somehow, because she was doing, like, online classes, and she brought up her computer. I was like, oh, what's going on with your computer? She's like, I don't know, it's just not working. I was like, you know I'm pretty good with computers, right? She was like, oh, no, I didn't know that. And I said, well, oh, you were here. I think you guys were on when I was telling you about how I was like, how about we make a deal? I fix your computer, and then you let me take you out on a date. And so that date happened yesterday, okay? So we go out to this really kind of fancy restaurant. Like, I would say if 10 was like your fanciest restaurant ever, it's probably like a 7.5 or an 8. So it's kind of a fancy restaurant. Because I didn't want to like be like a cheap ass, and you know, then she's like, oh my god, this guy went on a date and he didn't even fluff my pillow. And so I drive 30 minutes to pick her up in this city, and then I drive back to near my city, which is 30 minutes back, and we go to dinner. Everything's going fine. You know, she was talking to me. Everything was nice. We had like a lot in common. We goofed around. I mean, in terms of talking, I made her laugh the entire night. And so we leave. It's like 10 p.m. And I was like, so did you still want to do something after this? She was like, well, you know, I got a lot going on tomorrow, but I don't know, maybe. And then her friends text her. She's like, well, actually, my friends just text me. They're out at some bar in this one city, which is kind of trashy. So I say, hey, let's go. That's cool, whatever. I'm down for whatever. I got no plans tonight. So we get there. It's like 10:45 because that's how far away it is. And I sit down. It's like me, her, and 6 of her friends. And she doesn't introduce me to anybody, so I introduce myself to everybody, and, you know, I make small talk with whoever's in the near vicinity. And this girl ignores me, basically, for, like, 70% of the night while we're at this trashy bar that's got karaoke going. She's, like, not including me in, like, any conversations at all. So I'm kind of thinking, like, man, this girl's kind of being a bitch, you know? Like, and I'm kind of dressed up. Like, I'm wearing a suit coat and a button-up shirt. I wasn't, like, wearing a tie or anything, but we went to a nice restaurant. I didn't want to, you know, be a scrub. So,
right.
But then I'm in this, like, imagine, like, a redneck kind of bar where just people are wearing tank tops that shouldn't be wearing tank tops, or muffin tops are spilling over. They don't have teeth. People there didn't have teeth. The girl, there was, like, a 50-year-old woman next to me who started hitting on me, and she points at this one chick who's at the front who's wearing a tank top. She was like, what? she nudges me and she's like, what in the world makes you get out of bed, go throughout your day, and decide to come here at night, and you look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm going to wear this tank top tonight and have my muffin top just... And she's saying this to me. She's like, and just have my muffin top just spill all over. I was like, I don't know what... She's like, you know what it is? It's because she doesn't have any teeth. And all night, these girls at the table were talking about some girl who doesn't have teeth, and that was her. So I was like, oh, it's the toothless girl, you know? The toothless wonder. And so I was like, and then she was like, what do you all dress up for? And she, like, grabbed my arm and, like, tugged on it. I was like, well, I just went out to dinner, you know, I was on a date. And she's like, oh, who'd you go with? And I pointed at the chick. She's like, oh, and then she turns around. I was like, well, that's right. You're too old for me anyways. Beef. So, what's up, White Husky Gaming? I'm telling my story of this terrible date from last night. Welcome to the stream. So, and I'm eating a beef stick. So, hold on. So, the night goes on. We progressively drink more. And she told me while we were driving there, she was like, because I mentioned how I don't have a problem smoking adult cigarettes, but she was like, oh, I started smoking when I was in middle school. And I was like, wait, what? And she was like, yeah, and I started smoking pot when I was in 9th grade. I was like, 9th grade? Are you kidding? I was, like, learning biology. I, like, found out what my dick was called, like, scientifically in 9th grade. So, so what? I didn't know. I was like, oh, my God, we're from two different worlds, but... Yeah. No big deal. I was like, you're still hot enough where I can bypass all of this noise, you know? No, and this chick was hot, man. She had big eyes, big boobs, and eyes is also a reference for boobs. That's just our incognito way of saying she had big boobs. They were huge, man. I was like, wowee, those are bigums. So, I mean, I didn't say that to her. I didn't say that to her face. So, it rolls around to like 1 in the morning, and I, like, for an hour, I'm like, fuck, can I get the hell out of here? I don't want to be here. I got to drive 45 minutes home. So, 1 o'clock rolls around. One of the girls' boyfriend shows up, and him and I start talking because he looks like he doesn't want to be there either. And they all go out to have their 5th smoke break because, you know, she only smokes when she drinks. Right. Yeah. And she even had kind of a smoker's voice. When I first met her, I was like, she must smoke. And then, like, I never saw her smoke, but I only hung out. Anyways, so this guy's like, hey, you want to go do a shot? So by do you want to go do a shot, he means you want to go to the bar, pay for your own shot, and we do it together. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll do that, sure. So, because normally if someone asks you to do a shot, like, they pay for the shots. Like, I don't really want to do a shot, but if you're offering, sure. So I go up there, and so we do the shot, and it ends up this guy next to me is like this 50-year-old dude who came up to our table twice during the night. It was like, you ladies having fun! And I was like, what about the dude right here? And he was like, oh, sorry, man. He was like, I'm Tim. I was like, what's up? I'm Nate. And he was like, oh, I'm Tim. I was like, I got it. You're Tim. Okay. So then this guy's drinking throughout the night, and then at one point, probably around like 12:30, he asked my date to go dance with them, like slow dance, to some karaoke slow dance, because what's more romantic than slow dancing to white trash karaoke? You know, it was probably like Boys to Men or something. I can't even remember. Oh no, another guy who thinks looks are better. No, wait. I don't think looks are better. I should just clarify, White Husky Gaming. I think that looks play an important role, but I don't care if you're the hottest girl known to man, unless you can suck a golf ball out of a garden hose. I think your personality also matters quite a big deal. I've broken up with plenty of chicks who are attractive and just, their personalities were just like, ugh, get out of here.
There's no personality. What's the point, man?
They're just a crazy ass bitch. Like, that was the last girl. I could tell you that story too.
Like, grew up with problems, and it's like, whoa, I don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah, so this guy who slow danced with the date I was on is at the bar next to me, and this other guy who was karaokeing the entire night, and he did a really good job, and he picked good songs, like, not like shitty, like, I don't know, just stupid songs, but he picked a couple songs that I have on my stream, actually, and his name, they called him Brother Jim. So I was like, Brother Jim, he was like a 65-year-old dude. I was like, so when I ordered my shot, I was like, and we'll do a shot from Tim and Brother Jim. And Brother Jim's like, how'd you know my name? And I was like, because you Well, I was like, because I saw you sing. He's like, you remembered my name? I was like, you were Brother Jim. There's only one, I think. There was a Brother Jim, and get this, there was Other Jim. And Other Jim was not as good as Brother Jim. So that's kind of how I remembered it. So anyways, I'm talking to Tim and Brother Jim. Oh, shit, there's a spider. Oh, wait, no, that's just a piece of hair. I thought it was, like, floating down from the ceiling, but it was going so fast, I thought it was a spider. Because there's spiders all over this fucking thing. I had a dream. I took a nap for 45 minutes earlier today, and I literally dreamt about spiders. It was terrifying. So anyways, so it's like 1:45 now. The girl's been out there smoking for what must have been an hour. It must have been the longest cigarette ever. And so I'm talking to Tim and Brother Jim, just waiting to see, like, when am I taking this chick home? And she comes up to me and she's like, oh, I'm gonna go home with my friend, so, and I was like, wait, you're going, oh, okay? She was like, yeah, so, thanks, and then she, like, gives me this half-hearted ass hug and just leaves. And, well, before she leaves, I was like, what about the leftovers that are in my car? Because we went to this nice restaurant, she hardly ate anything, but she said it was delicious, and, she was like, oh no, I don't eat leftovers, and then she just left, and I was like,
okay.
I was like, what? And then she just left, and I was like, wow, boy, way to, like, totally ruin all the confidence that I had, because this girl who's got 2 adopted kids is a bartender, doesn't go to school, wants to be a nurse. I take her to a nice restaurant. I opened the door to my car for her, like, multiple times. I never do that unless the chick's that hot. Yeah, I do want to hear a story, White Husky Gaming, but I don't want to bore everybody who's listening to me right now, because they can't read what you're saying. So, yeah, then I drove home at 1:45 in the morning after drinking 45 minutes, and I got home and I was like, wow, what a bitch. And she didn't message me or anything today just to be like, hey, thanks for the, you know, the nice dinner and, you know, whatever, or sorry for being a huge-ass bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, dude, I'm just done going on dates now. I'm just done. I don't even give a shit. Like, I'm just gonna sit here and play WoW. I'm sure there's some virtual chick. I'm gonna ask right now in general chat. Any single chicks out there tonight?
Oh, no.
I'm in Dalaran. I said, any single chicks out there tonight want to get raided?